and welcome to A Cup of Conversation on BRT2 TV. This week in the studio, we're going to be talking to the lovely Amanda Fiora, and we'll be talking about the Rotary Club of Kyrenia Liman, and we'll be finding out about their work and what's coming up in the very near future. So first of all, Amanda, welcome to the programme.
Thank you very much. It's lovely to be here.
It's lovely to see your lovely personality here in the studio with us at
Thank
BRTK.
you.
Thank you for coming down on this cold day, all the way from Karşıyaka to Lefkoşa.
Thank you very much.
And first of all, before we talk about the Kyrenia Liman Rotary Club and your involvement with the Rotary Club, let's find out a bit about you. Now, we've only just met literally minutes before this interview, and I can tell from your accent that you have a bit of a Australian or New Zealand twang. But you are actually quite international, originally from the UK, is that right?
I am. I was born in the UK, but we moved back to New Zealand when I was 3. My dad's a New Zealander. So we moved back when I was 3, and I spent my time in New Zealand and moved across to Australia in my teens and went to university in Australia and didn't move to Europe till I was 20. So then I spent some time in England, spent some time in France, but most of my time in Italy. So a bit of everywhere.
A bit of everywhere, and that's where the Fiora comes from, I think.
It does, it does. My first husband was Italian. I was married and lived in Italy for 6 years.
Very nice. So
It was.
a very international lady.
Yes.
But then people will ask, well, how did you end up in the lovely, sunny North Cyprus?
It was a bit of a, it wasn't so much my decision really. It was my partner Malcolm. He came on holiday with a friend of his to visit somebody else who'd moved here. And it was about 2002, 2003. He saw a plot of land in a place he really loved and he thought he'd buy it. So bought the plot of land. We thought we may as well build it as a holiday house. But coming out back and forth, we decided, well, that was the time to take the plunge, sell up in the UK, move out permanently in 2007. I think it's the climate was the biggest pull here. I mean, it's such a nice climate. It's very similar to Australia where I grew up. Mm-hmm. And it was close enough to get back to the UK to see his grandkids whenever he wanted to. So, perfect place.
So, I mean, again, I'm astounded by the fact that people can come here on a holiday and all of a sudden, I mean, you know, normally it's like, okay, I'll come again maybe and try it out. But for him to actually find a plot of land
yes.
and get that is quite, you know, an
He's
achievement.
the sort of person who makes a decision and sticks with it. So, you know, it wasn't that impulsive. I think he just thought, yes, this is the right place. The climate's perfect. Mm. He liked the way of life. Lots of people here he knew, so thought, yes,
so he
it's
was
the right time.
So permanently since 2007?
Yes.
So it's been, you know, quite a few years, nearly 8 years now.
Yes, no regrets. We love it here. It's really, really a nice place to live, I think.
Very nice. So you're based in Karşıyaka.
We are.
So a very different lifestyle, maybe to where you're used to from, you know, the UK and Australia and, you know, Italy even. But, you know, you're happy there.
Very much so. It's lovely, Karşıyaka. We're quite rural area of Karşıyaka. There aren't too many houses near us. It's lots of fields, lots of people walking their dogs. We walk our dogs. It's a lovely area. It's very, very relaxing.
Very, very nice. Although at this time of the year, I think it's been one of the coldest winters
it is.
we've experienced in a
definitely
while.
Close all the shutters on the north side of the house because that wind coming off the Turkish mountains is bitterly cold.
Yeah, very, very cold.
But it's still nice.
Nice. We're not complaining, are we, at all?
No.
We're okay. We're okay. We've got a long, lovely summer to look forward to in the next few months. So we're okay. Now, the reason why you've kindly agreed to come down to BRTK today, Amanda, is to talk about your involvement with Rotary.
Yes.
I'm, in fact, actually an ex-Rotaract.
Yes.
So it's close to my heart. I love the Rotarians. I love all people who do good work for the community.
Oh, brilliant.
So you're here now on that, with that hat on your head now to talk about the Rotarians. How long, now I know it's only been quite a recent thing for you here in North Cyprus, hasn't it?
It has. I've only been a Rotarian myself for just under a year. I was pinned last February. But I have been associated with Rotary for a long, long time. Rotary as an organisation is very strong in Australia and New Zealand. Rotary clubs are throughout the towns, cities, and they're always very, very at the forefront of things that are happening. Rotarians volunteer to help with other people's organisations, events. They're always very, very much in the public eye. So I grew up knowing about Rotary, and in England I had a pub restaurant where several Rotary clubs met every week. Rotarians meet once a week. So I knew about their work and what they did and what sort of people were involved. And also Malcolm, my partner, has been a Rotarian for about 20 years now. So basically I knew a lot of Rotarians in the UK. Rotary, however, does need a bit of a commitment of time. It does involve giving a bit of time back. It's weekly meetings, there's projects that are ongoing, committee meetings. So it's not until really now in North Cyprus that I found that I've got the time that I can put in and get the results I'd like to get.
I know, I mean, I totally agree with you with the fact that, you know, when you say you need to put time in, because it's not
Yes.
just something that you can join and then sit back.
No.
I mean, if you want to be a really good Rotarian and be involved, you have to give that time for, you know, if they want to organise an event, everyone's got to chip in and help out. It's not just
Exactly.
sitting back and, oh, I'm a member now, I'm supporting you in that way. No, you've actually got to be quite active.
Exactly. Our club at the moment has 37 members. It has 4 honorary members, but 37 active members, and we're all expected to participate. We have different committees to organise different things, but it's not just to sit back and don't take part. You actually have to be part of a committee, be part of the club itself. It's all part of fellowship as well, working together, working as a team, because that's what Rotary is about. You work as a team, you can get more done. Everybody can contribute something. Everybody's got different skills they bring to the Rotary Club. And everybody putting those skills together can get a lot more done than just 2 or 3 people on a committee struggling to get everything done.
Yeah. Obviously, I mean, you know, it's all about teamwork, and I know that one of the reasons that it's called Rotary is because of the rotation of every year you have, you know, the election of or, you know, should I say, the rotation of the president, vice president, secretary.
It does. It changes completely every year within the club itself. It started off being called Rotary because when it was founded back in 1905, rather than meeting in a venue, they would meet at each other's houses. So it was a Rotary system of meetings. They'd meet 1 week at that person's, 1 week at that. But you're quite right. Our year runs from July through to June, and our president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer all take office at the beginning of July and see the year through. So June is very much our handover month where we're busy setting up the new committees to take the new year forward. But everybody participates, and we try to give everybody experience on the different committees. We have committees for membership, committees for administration, as well as those who organise the projects and organise the events and fellowship meetings.
For those who don't know much about Rotarian, because I mean, as I said, I was a Rotaract, so I know about it. But for those who are watching now who have no idea what exactly the Rotarians do, you meet. Well, the actual idea is that you meet once a week, yes?
Yes.
So that's still happening here in North Cyprus.
It does, yes. All throughout the world. They haven't changed that at all.
They haven't changed that at all.
Very much once a week. We are expected to keep up attendance at meetings. There are ways to make up meetings if we can't make a particular week. We can visit a different club. In North Cyprus, there are 3 clubs. There's one in Lefkosia, the Sarayanu Club, and there's another one in Kyrenia, the Centenarian Club. So we can visit anybody else's meetings to make up meetings. And they also have moved into internet now, so we can make up meetings online through e-meetings. So it's important that we just keep up to date with what's going on in the world of Rotary. We have to make a lot of contact with our own club, but if we are travelling, we can visit other clubs, we can visit other or clubs to make up meetings, to find out what they're doing, to report back.
So it's all very, very technological now as well. With aid of technology, you can't really excuse yourself from a meeting. Go online.
Yes, exactly. There's no
as an
excuses at
e-meeting.
all because you can do the e-meetings any time of the day. You can do it on the weekend, any time you have to
When it
make it
suits
up.
you, yeah.
Yes.
So, and again, I'm drawing back on my own references now as a Rotaract, when this is going back many, many years ago, when I was actually allowed to be a Rotaract because of my age. Basically, we used to hold many social and charity events. One of our major projects was actually constructing a small kids park near the Teachers Hotel in Kyrenia, and that was one of our projects many years ago then. So it's actually to serve the community in a way, isn't it?
It is. Rotary is all about putting something back into the community, whether it's the international community or your local community. A strong emphasis is on local community. For example, being a Kyrenia club, we concentrate on Kyrenia. The Lefkosia Club concentrate on Lefkosia. But it is all about seeing where you could make a difference. It doesn't have to be a huge difference. Our Rotary International President this year is a gentleman from Taiwan, and every year they choose an international theme. His theme this year is Light Up Rotary, and he's taken a little phrase from Confucius: it is better to light a single candle than to sit and curse the darkness. So he's basically saying, just do one little thing. It doesn't matter if it's a little thing, something to help in your community. It doesn't matter if it's just helping your next door neighbour with the shopping. It's just do something. Don't just sit and say, well, somebody else should do something.
Very wise words, though, I think.
It is, yeah.
A nice way of thinking about things in life, especially when we're all here, you know, wondering about what's going to happen in North Cyprus and, you know, moaning about this, that and the other. Just light your little candle, maybe make a little difference.
Yes, yes.
So you've been, well, a member of the Kyrenia Liman Rotary Club for just under a year now.
Yes.
And so in that time, tell us a bit about your experiences. I mean, how did you get to hear about, I mean, were you surprised to know that there was actually a Rotary Club in North Cyprus?
And not so much, because one thing about being in Rotary is anywhere you go in the world, you're likely to find a Rotary Club. There are over 34,000 Rotary Clubs throughout the world. It's got a membership of almost 1.3 million.
Wow.
So any country you go to, you can just look up Rotary on the Google search engine and you will find a Rotary Club near you. And Rotarians are always welcome to visit other meetings. And so it's very much a way, if you do move or if you are traveling, it's a good way of meeting people who live there permanently. For example, when you first move to a place, you go visit the Rotary Club, they can tell you so much more about the area you're moving to or that you're looking at being in. And it's a great way of integrating with the community straight away. Yeah. So, as I said, my partner Malcolm, from when he was first coming here on holiday, they looked up whether his friends were Rotarians as well. They looked up where the Rotarian Club was meeting. So they went along, introduced themselves, and started just visiting every time they came out, making contact through the Rotary Club. And then when we moved over, you can just transfer your membership to another club. So you can be welcome anywhere in the world, really, with Rotary.
So fantastic, really. I mean, he was a Rotarian in the UK,
yes.
And then when he established himself here, an official Rotarian in North Cyprus
yes.
as well.
Yes.
Just transfer your membership.
Yes.
And so, for you, last year was probably the right time when you thought you could give your time up.
It is, yes. I'm very much a person, I don't like to do half a job. I either do it 100% or not at all. So it's a case of knowing that you do have the time to commit and that you do have the skills that are needed, and to be sure of that. And once you have got the time you can commit, it's very, very rewarding. You make very good friendships through Rotary and you have very good experiences. You meet very interesting people. Our club has a series of speakers throughout the year who are very, very interesting, and you learn things you'd never learned before. We've had the Prime Minister of the TRNC, Mr. Yogandjolu, came in December to address our club. We've had the Mayor of Kyrenia. The Australian High Commissioner came to visit our club and talk to us. So we meet a lot of different people and find out a lot of different things. It's a very interesting experience.
It is very interesting, and especially if you want to, you know, meet people, socialise and help the community in some small way,
yes.
Then it's a great group to join. So in the year that you've been there now, Neely, I mean, can you tell us about past projects, what you've been involved, what you've seen so far?
Well, Rotary International itself does ask us to do a couple of international projects every year. We're very much involved as Rotary International with the push to end polio. It's a big End Polio Now campaign that Rotary's been involved in since the 80s, and it's very, very much this close to being eradicated. It's only contagious in 3 countries now. There's Nigeria, Afghanistan, and Pakistan. So it's the final push to get rid of polio. It would only be the second disease ever to be eradicated internationally, the first being smallpox. And at the moment, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation in the US are doubling every contribution Rotary makes. So if we raise $100, they will put in $200. So part of it this year, we did hold a fundraiser for the End Polio Now push, and we raised $1,250 US, which was then trebled by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, which would have purchased more than 6,000 polio vaccines. So that was an achievement this year. We have ongoing projects. We like to support local people such as the Carrickham Special School by providing art and craft supplies and finding out if they have needs that we can help meet. We have our major project this year that we've undertaken is the patient transport vehicle, wheelchair access patient transport vehicle for the new dialysis unit that's opening at Gurner State Hospital. They were lucky enough to have a bequest from an expatriate to build a lovely dialysis unit, a 10-bed dialysis unit. So our club has been working towards fundraising to purchase this dialysis unit patient transport vehicle. It should be before the end of January we can deliver it to them. And it's also in conjunction with the Friends of the Hospital have contributed as well. There's been many local businessmen who've also said, I'll contribute. So we've made it there with that one. So it's a very major project for us this year. But we keep going with the smaller projects. We're always available for people to kind of let us know what they're doing. We're willing to work with other organizations. If they have larger projects to do, we can work together. Because sometimes it helps to work together. We can find people who can get the projects seen through to the end.
So anyone who wants maybe support from you guys can approach.
Yes, if anybody's got any
make
projects
a proposal,
on, yes.
And then maybe you can all debate about it afterwards and say,
Of course.
well, is it feasible to do this, or should we help or not? But
Rotary asks us to concentrate on 6 major areas so that we don't digress too much. So, because Rotary is an international brand, really, and we do need to be concentrating throughout the world on the same things.
Yeah.
They ask us to look at 6 areas: water and sanitation, basic education, maternal and child health, community development, and disease prevention. So as long as we look at those areas, we tend to look at what we can do to help. We look at different ways to raise funds. We look at different ways to help through, not necessarily just monetary help, but through different levels of support, through expertise of the members. If somebody needs advice or help in setting up business, for example, we've got many people who do know what they're talking about and can help.
Well, I remember as a Rotaract, once, a couple of times our club went to a local school, and each of us from different backgrounds, I mean, the fact that we all had different working backgrounds, we all spoke about our work and tried to give the final year high school kids some ideas about what to do when they want to graduate, what to study at university. So it isn't, like you say, it's not just always raising money, but education, supporting the community in different ways. You did mention about, I mean, you're doing great work with the hospital, and as you were saying, about the other international projects, the end polio and everything. To raise money is quite difficult. It's always, that's one of the biggest tasks of any group, to actually get money. But what have you done so far to raise money? I mean, do you hold certain events that will raise money?
We do hold certain fundraisers. We have a lot of contacts throughout the world through Rotary. And to be honest with you, some Rotary clubs are a little bit better off than others. So we make contact with other Rotary clubs, other areas in the world, and say, this is our project. Would you like to be part of it? Would you like to contribute? We hold fundraising events. Basically, when people become aware of what we're doing, we do get a lot of donations towards it as well. So it's all a little carry-on thing.
Yeah.
We don't just do fundraising for things such as this. We also do other events in the community. We have some awareness seminars coming up, drugs awareness seminars for teenagers, and things like that. So we're trying to not just concentrate on the fundraising, but on the community development as a whole.
I know, I mean, this is something that the Rotaracts do as well. I mean, I've had many Rotaracts in the studio, especially from your youngsters, Vasviet and Burak. And they're always saying about how they have got, training programs or awareness programs and lectures. And I think it's quite a good thing to actually give that opportunity for youngsters as well, or for anyone who's interested, to hear a speaker or to hear somebody talk about a certain subject and to get information on it, which is quite interesting.
We have a very, very good Rotaract club. Our Rotaract club is for the ages 18 to 30, and they're brilliant. They really do have a lot of energy. They put a lot of energy into more physical projects than perhaps we do. They will go and refurbish a local school, or they will go and do construction projects somewhere. They are very, very active that way. And they've won many awards that way, because Rotary, the family of Rotary, does encompass Rotaract and also Interact. We now have an Interact club at the English School of Kyrenia, which is the 12 to 18-year-olds.
Right.
They're not so much into fundraising, they're more into raising awareness within their community, especially environmental awareness, things such as that. But it gets them together as a group, looking to put something back into community, and it's very, very promising.
Fantastic.
It
So
is.
that's something that new that I didn't know about. Interactive. So you're starting even earlier now, not just the 18 to 13 for the Rotaracts, but
The next step is in a lot of parts of the world, they have what's called Rota Kids, who are even younger, and they do make posters for environmental awareness, for traffic safety,
Yeah.
things like that. But it's just getting them involved, seeing that they're part of the bigger picture. It's not just their classroom, their school. They are part of their community. They are part of their town. They are part of the world. You know, it's you have to give back in. When you're having a good life, you have to put something back in.
that's fantastic. The fact that they're starting so younger as well now.
Yes.
And I suppose those who want to continue have the opportunity to become a interactor, Rotaractor,
Yes.
and then a Rotarian at the end.
Yes,
so-
certainly. I mean, we were talking a little bit earlier about how there is that period between being a Rotaractor and Rotarian where maybe you do need to take time off to establish your family, establish your career, establish your home, and then you're always welcome back to the family of Rotary. And it's quite a lovely thing to travel around to different clubs. They're pretty much the same throughout the world, how the meetings are run, how the clubs are run. It's just so much going back to family, really. It's lovely.
Seeing that you brought that subject up, I mean, when you compare, as you said before, when you were back in the UK and you'd seen other Rotary groups and how they worked, when you compare now to the UK or even to Australia, even New Zealand, even, can you say that yes, the meetings are on a similar level and the devotion is on a similar level and well organised as well here in North Cyprus even?
It is. The clubs here in Cyprus are run exactly the same as clubs in the US and Australia. Everybody has the same structure with Rotary. Rotary's a very organised organisation.
Yeah.
It is very organised, and it's been going now for 110 years. So they do have it. Their process is set up perfectly, and they run perfectly everywhere you go. You can walk into a meeting anywhere, and it will be the same. And you have the same sort of committees throughout the world who do the same sort of things, so you can fit right in. And it's very good for that. They ask you what committees you'd like to be part of, where you think your abilities would best be suited, and everybody has something to contribute to Rotary. That's the thing. It was once upon a time Rotary was a bit of an elitist one. It used to be the best of each profession from a town joined the Rotary Club. Rotary threw open its doors quite a few years ago and said everybody's got something to contribute.
Yeah.
Whether you come from a homemaking background or a working background, you still have a contribution to make from your life experience, whether it's organisation abilities or bookkeeping abilities or any sort of ability, really.
Everyone's got something to offer.
Everybody's got something to offer to a Rotary Club because there are so many members. It all works together. It all builds together to make the big picture.
Fantastic. Great news there. Now, let's talk about the next event that's coming up that I've seen in the press. And let me just share this with our viewers. For those who are interested in supporting the next event, now the Rotary Club of Kyrenia Liman is holding a fundraising pub day starting from 2 p.m. on Saturday, January the 31st at Jessik's Pub in Karşıyaka. And all the proceeds from the auction and raffle, plus 5 TL from any meals purchased, will go towards local Rotary causes, including our major project of the purchase of a patient transport vehicle for the Kyrenia State Hospital new renal dialysis unit, as you just mentioned before, Amanda. And donations of items for auction or raffle can be dropped off at Jessik's. And they have some great donations already, including brand new golf clubs and shoes, a lawnmower, an inflatable double mattress with mosquito net, a keyboard and a water fountain. And so this is a nice, fun event.
It is. It's a very
Coming up.
casual, sociable day. It's a lot more relaxed than some of our events. It's a very nice place, Jessik's. They do a lot for charity. And they're very, very kind in letting us use their venue for this. It's really great that they are helping with the organisation as well. It's a very casual, informal day, but there are some great things to pick up. I mean, it's a great chance to clear out as well. I'm going to be using it over the next couple of weeks as a chance to clear out the garage and the shed. But there's always somebody who is willing to pay for something you don't want anymore. And
Of
it's a
course.
great cause for it to go towards. It really does help everybody in the Kyrenia area.
Definitely. As you said, it's a great project that you're working on at the moment, a local project with the state hospital. And so it's not too late now. I mean, we've got, still a couple more weeks before the end of the month, before the event. Can people still drop off
Yes.
things? I mean, it does say here, drop it off at Jessic's.
Jessic's are very happy for it to be dropped off from now. They're very happy for it to be left there with them. They're in Karsiaka, just past the Lapta border, going towards Guzalyali. And they have enough space that they can store everything there. And it's a good idea as well, because then everybody knows what's there and can see it beforehand.
Yes, maybe, if you leave it early, then you can go and wander around, see what else is there, and make sure you've got a good bid for the auction. Maybe, make sure you know what you want to bid for.
Exactly.
So, anyone can come along, and you don't have to be a Rotarian.
Oh, no, it's open to everybody to bid, everybody to take part in the day. It's a very much a community day. It doesn't have to be just Rotarians at all. It's everybody.
Everyone's welcome. And we'll give out ways to contact Amanda, and also any email addresses, or how she can tell you where they are on the social media. But if somebody watching now wanted to join, I know it's a very different process, because normally, when it was a Rotaract, you normally get nominated first of all. You know somebody who's already a Rotaractor or a Rotarian, and then you have to maybe attend a certain number of meetings beforehand.
Yes.
And then your membership is reviewed and you're accepted as a Rotarian or a Rotaractor. How does it work? If somebody out there now watching wants to become a member of your club, how do we go about it?
We do ask that they do come to several meetings, make contact with us, sit down and have a chat beforehand, and we'll explain what's involved, the commitments involved, what Rotary actually does, what we manage to achieve. And then we do invite people to come to several meetings to see how the structure works, and to see how they get along with other people. It's very important that we're all working together. So it is a case of finding the right fit. Like I said, there are 3 clubs in North Cyprus, so it's nice to be able to see who you can fit in with.
Yeah.
Rotarians who've been past Rotarians in the UK are always welcome to come along to our meetings and see how they can fit in with us. We do speak 2 languages in our meeting. We have our Turkish-English club. We have a young gentleman, Evren, who translates for us, who does simultaneous translation with the headsets. So it's completely open to people who speak only English or people who speak only Turkish. It's completely...
Wow, so...
He's brilliant, I've got to say, he's brilliant.
Excellent, so there you are sitting, it's like one of those conferences, isn't it? International seminars, and everyone's sitting there with their headphones and they're translating to their own language. So,
so if we have a guest speaker who's speaking in English, for example, last night our guest speaker was speaking English, so those who aren't fluent in English could use the headphones, and everyone translates simultaneously.
Brilliant. So no one's excluded when it comes to language. Out of interest, Amanda, how many members are non-Turkish, and how many people roughly do you have who are English speaking?
Almost everybody speaks English.
Right.
As you know here, people here tend to speak a very high standard of English. So most people in the club are dual language, Turkish English.
Right.
I'd say there are about 5 of us who only speak English, and there are about 5 who only speak Turkish. But we all get along okay.
Problem.
No problem at all. It's very, very easy.
Very good.
It's very, very easy. But we ask that, we just suggest to people to come along to talk with us, to see our meetings. We have our membership committee who goes through everything to do with Rotary with them, because there are different things. People maybe don't understand the areas of focus we concentrate on, what Rotarians are expected to act like in real life. We have an object, a 4-way test we call it, which we have to ask ourselves about everything we do. Is it the truth? Is it beneficial to all concerned? Is it fair? And so on. We have to live by this code, so to speak. We have a lot of people, we have to explain the commitment of time, because weekly meetings, that's all the year round, even when it's pouring with rain in the middle of winter and you don't want to go out on the evening. We still have meetings, so we still need to go, really. We can't just think, oh, I'll sit home and watch the telly, somebody else will do my bit tonight. Yeah. So it is a big commitment, but it's very, very rewarding. I mean, it's very, very sociable. I mean, it's a great way of meeting people from all different aspects of the community. We have, as I said, we have 37 different Rotarians at the moment, and we're a full range of ages from 40 through to I think about 85. So, and it's people from all different backgrounds.
Yeah.
It's a great chance to interact and to work together.
So where are the meetings held normally?
We meet at the Dome Hotel. We meet on Wednesday evenings. At winter, at this time of year, we start our meetings at 6:30 p.m. Summer, it tends to be 7 p.m., just a bit later. But we meet there every Wednesday. The only times we don't meet are if it's a national holiday or similar. And we always post our meeting times on our website and on our Facebook page. So people always know when there is a meeting on, or if we have a guest speaker, or if it's just a business meeting, a Rotary business meeting with committee reports and working on projects. So people are always welcome to get in touch through the Facebook page, through the website, or email, or however they want to. And we meet up, and they can come along, see if they like the meeting. And we do encourage people to come to several meetings to see if they do feel that they can keep the commitment up, to see if they do want to go on with it. There's no pushing people to sign on the dotted line. It's very much when they feel the time is right to join up.
Yeah.
We do work on a yearly subscription basis, but people are expected to join Rotary on a permanent basis. People stay Rotarians for life. It's very much an ongoing thing, and you relocate when you move to another area. You can take your membership with you.
Yeah. So, I mean, I agree with the fact that once you're a Rotarian, it's sort of like it stays with you.
Yes.
If you're really committed,
Yes.
then it's very difficult to get out of that, that circle of friends and the way that, when you're doing something good for the community and enjoying so much, these regular meetings. And as you say, I mean, it could be a meeting where you have a guest speaker. It could be a regular meeting to determine the next project or who's doing what for the next project. So there's always something going on, isn't there?
There is. And now Rotary also encourages very much family and spouses to get involved. It encourages spouses to join clubs together. So husband and wife can go together to clubs and be involved in the same thing. They don't necessarily work on the same committees unless they want to. But it's a family thing that people can invite their brothers, sisters, sons, daughters to join. So it's more of a family event. We have a lot of events throughout the year which are suited to families and to bringing relatives along to. And it's a very friendly environment.
Very, very friendly environment. And I know that you're busy with the PR work at the moment, but correct me if I'm wrong, your partner Malcolm is actually the current...
He's the current president of our club, and our presidency runs from July through to June, so he's got another 5 months to go.
5 months to go. Are you actually on any on the committee yourself?
I'm on the PR committee. I also help out with the admin committee and the special projects committee. But the board itself is made up of the president, the secretary, the treasurer, the vice president, incoming president. We decide 18 months ahead who's going to be the incoming president.
Because you've got the ladder, don't you? I mean, if you're a treasurer, you become a secretary, secretary becomes vice president. Really,
it's encouraged that you get experience in those roles, because then you see the full... There is a lot of organisation to Rotary because it is such a big organisation. It needs to be structured. With the treasurer's role, you also learn a lot about Rotary Foundation, Rotary working towards projects. Rotary does have a system where it does give grants to clubs. And what happens is you pay in a certain amount to the Rotary Foundation, and then if you apply for a grant, they can give you a grant, which is larger, of course, than the amount you pay in. But there's a lot of structure to the organisation that you really do need to get a flavour for before you go on to presidency.
But that's good, isn't it? The fact that you do all those duties for at least 1 year, go up the ladder, and then when you are the president and you've gone through all that, you actually know you can empathise with.
And you understand how everything works. Yes. And also with the committees, it's encouraged that we move from committee to committee each year. For example, next year I might be on membership committee or I might be on foundation committee rather than the PR or the admin, so that we can all see what everybody else does within the group.
So do you see yourself continuing then for more years now? I mean, this is your first year really.
Yes, yes, it is. It's very much... there is a lot you give back, and it is a good feeling to work in a team like that. It is a large team. As I said, I mean, there are 37 active members in our club. It's a large team to work with, but it is a very sociable team, and everybody is working towards the same goals. So it's a very enjoyable group to be part of, and it's another great aspect of social life here. A lot of my friends are Turkish Cypriots, and we meet a lot of people from different countries who come here. Over the past few months, we've had visitors from Scotland, we've had visitors from Turkey, we've had visitors from America, we've had visitors, I think, from Germany. So we meet so many people. It's not only giving back, it's also social. So it combines everything, you know,
And as you said, I mean, everyone's welcome, you know, husband and wife, so it's not like you're leaving your husband behind and going off.
No.
You know, he can join as well, or you know, the partner can join in, and everyone can meet, socialise, and also do some good work. And I think that the Dome Hotel, which is in the centre of Girne, is quite good. So if wherever you are living, you know, either west or east of Girne, Dome Hotel is in the centre, so you know it's central to everyone.
It is, and our club has been meeting there. Our club was established in 1978, and it's been meeting there since 1978. And the good thing about the Dome is it has different sized meeting rooms as well. So it doesn't matter how many, if there's 150 of you, they've got a room. If there's only 20 of you, they've got a room. So it's great. They are very, very, very helpful towards us. So
a great location in the area to actually meet up. So once again, for those who want to find out more, there's a website. Is it the general website for Rotary, or is it your own website for the Kyrenia Liman?
Our own website. There is an international website, rotary.org, which will tell you about Rotary in general, and it has a club finder, so you can type in wherever you are in the world. It will let you know where Rotary clubs meet near you.
So if you like Cyprus or North Cyprus, it will probably tell you
Yes, it would tell you
the groups.
That we meet on a Wednesday, that St Hilarion meets on a Thursday, Saranu meets on a Tuesday, and where we meet. So you can always come along. And we also have our own website, which is KyreniaLimanRotary.org, which details our projects, our events. It has all the information pertaining to our club. We have a Facebook page, which is Rotary Club of Kyrenia Liman. We have a Twitter account at Kyrenia Liman. So if you follow us on any of those, you'll find out activities coming up, events, and you can always get in touch that way and come along and have a chat to us if you're interested in joining.
Well, great ways to get in contact with you there as well. And again, on the 31st of January at J6 Spa in Karşıyaka, we have your special fundraising pub day with the auction and raffle. And, you know, I suppose, you know, those who want to meet you face to face.
Yes, and it's a good chance to have a talk to people who think they might be suited towards joining Rotary. We don't, as I said, we don't force anybody to sign on the dotted line. We have many friends of Rotary who do come along to our social events and are interested in what we do, but don't necessarily feel at the moment they have the commitment of time to put into Rotary, but they still are involved and they still help out and are very much part of the Rotary family. So it's a nice, friendly environment.
It is very nice and friendly, and you know, it is a great way to make new friends and normally they do become lifelong friends. I mean, some of my friends from the Rotaract I still meet, you know, after all these years. You know, maybe not as regularly as we should do, but you know, we are in contact with each other. I have to say that the face of Rotary has changed over the years. I mean, since I was there, you know, obviously the internet has become more active, online friendships and online work. And also, I mean, do you feel, I mean, with Rotary being such a well-established and old institution around the world, has it developed with the modern times now? Do you think that the relevance of Rotary 100 years ago is still relevant today? The work that, I mean, obviously your work is very important, but do you think that yes, Rotary should be around. There should be Rotary clubs around the whole world doing this work because, you know, it's very important that Rotary still is involved with the community here, you know, wherever it is established.
It is. It's very much moved with the times, Rotary. I think it went through a little phase, 70s and 80s, where it struggled a bit, especially with admitting women into Rotary. It was a male-only club until mid-80s. But it has moved very recently, very much with the times. Everything is done electronically now. There are fellowships over the internet between Rotarians in different countries, a lot of traveling to meet other people, and a lot of helping other clubs in other parts of the world. For example, as I said, we're working with the club in Adana on their water and sanitation project. Other clubs in the US are working with a club perhaps in Africa to do a project there. People work together, so I think the internet's opened it up so that we all work much more as a big family rather than individual clubs. And it does give a lot back to the community. It's amazing what is done through Rotary throughout the world.
It sounds, very, very interesting. All the work, the new work. I mean, I wish I was back, as a Rotarian or a Rotaractor now.
I'll talk you into coming.
Yeah, you talk me back into coming. But one thing I have to say that, it is important to support the work that you're doing, because it is giving back to the community, however small, whether it is the Karakum Special Needs School, whether it is that you are supporting a club in Turkey with what they're doing, it all comes back, and it all, it's all for the benefit
it's all part of giving back to, a lot of us have very, very lucky lives, really. When you look at the world in general, we have very lucky lives, and it doesn't take much to put a little bit back in and to help somebody else and to just encourage other people to do something else. And it just grows that way, and we can all it makes a big difference at the end of the day, what we do.
The new year is upon us now, and as we said, we mentioned briefly about the next event, but do we have will there be any new projects coming up, do you know of, or do you want to keep them secret until they're official? What's around the corner, let's say, for Rotary?
For Rotary Club here, our Rotary Club here, we will continue to work towards the local small-scale charities, for example, doing small jobs for the Karakum Special School. The House of Hope we helped in the past. We will look at how we can help them in the future. There are many other little projects that are being thought about, but they do need to be considered from all angles before we go forward. In the meantime, we carry on. We've got, as I said, our drugs awareness seminars coming up. We have the anniversary of Rotary in February, which is just a big party really for us, but we do some fundraising at it as well. And we'll just continue to grow forward. Yes, there's always a lot of things that do come up. We do keep contingency funds, for example, if, God forbid, there is an emergency here or something, and then we are in a position to contribute or to help in some way.
Well, Amanda, it's been a very interesting chat with you, and you've enlightened, I'm sure, most of our viewers about Rotary and especially the Kyrenia Liman Rotary Club. As you say, it's very rewarding work, and if anyone wants to find out more, they can get in touch with you online, or meet you at one of your events, or just log on to the Rotary International and look up all the groups. But do you mind if I give out your telephone number?
You're welcome to, please do.
Just in case anybody out there is ready with a pen and paper or want to quickly phone Amanda up. Amanda Fiora can be contacted on 0533 823 3974. That's 0533 823 3974. And as you say, most of the members speak English, so there's no worry about will I be able to understand what's going on. Everyone speaks English, and if there's a seminar, got simultaneous translations, so
exactly.
There's no excuse not to approach the club. But thank you very much for all your hard work with the club, and I'm sure that we'll be hearing more from you in the future. And I hope that you'll keep us informed about what you're doing. Well, thank you very much for inviting me to be on your programme. It's been a pleasure. You're more than welcome. And again, like we said, the Kyrenia Liman Rotary Club meets every Wednesday in the winter about 6:30, in the summer about 7 o'clock at the Dome Hotel. So this Wednesday, go along and say hello to them if you can. But for now, it's a big thank you to Amanda Fiora and everyone at the Rotary Club. And thank you for watching this programme. And until we meet again next week, go well and go safe. Bye-bye.